Right, let's get started. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's special meeting to discuss the Cloud Native Sustainability Week event. Please be aware that this meeting is recorded and uploaded to YouTube afterwards. So feel free to share your camera or not, however you like. Please be aware that this is a CNCF community meeting, which falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct, which can be summarized to be just excellent to each other. And so this is kind of like a special meeting. We do not plan to have this regularly. Maybe we will have another one of these like a month or so before the event happens. So there are a couple of slides, but there's like not a lot of slides, so there's plenty of time to discuss anything about the event. So let's jump to the next one. So at this meeting, basically first we will give just on a few slides some overall information about the event. So you know basically what is happening. You have like a good overview about everything which is going on. And then there are a couple of slides, very simple, just to walk through the event planning. I know that a few folks, not sure about everybody here, but a few folks who signed up or are interested in organizing events are new to organizing events. So there's a bit of help on the CNCF community pages, how to organize that. And we will also walk through that. And then, as I said, there's open discussions. So, right first, so we have a bunch of folks interested in organizing events. At the moment, 27 events are planned in 20 different countries, which I think is kind of a big number. So I'm very excited about that. And maybe we can go briefly around the room and everybody can introduce themselves just briefly where what you do in the community maybe, and if you are planning an event, where you're based, or where you are planning to host the event. So I can start with myself. My name is Leo. I'm with the tag Environment Sustainability, doing a bunch of stuff with the CNCF and also with the community, working on the Kubernetes release right now. I'm based in Hamburg, and I will also organize an event here. All right. If you do not like to introduce yourself, you can also just pop a message in chat. That's fine too. Otherwise, maybe Manikan.
Hi everyone, it's Mani here. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Manikan Krishnamurthy from CNC Chennai. So it is a CNC Chennai community which is in India. So we regularly do the events across CNCF projects, and we completed a round of approximately 15 meetups in Chennai locations against around the projects like Kubernetes, Argo CD, Flex, and Open Telemetrics. We used to touch upon these topics, and we've been started on 2020 approximately. For the past 2 years, we are continuously doing the events in the very high level summary about the community. Along with me, I have some more organizers who's supporting this and doing this. So I was joined this webinar to understand what's exactly about the sustainability, cognitive sustainability about, and because we already updated your interest form that we want to plan this sustainability in Chennai. So I'd like to understand the background of it and what step I should do forward, because I have some couple of clarifications why I joined this call. Looking forward to get more insight on that.
All right, sounds good. Maybe next one, Johan.
Yeah, hi all. My name is Johan. I'm from Switzerland. I'm a CNCF ambassador, organizing local meetups in Bern. That's the capital of Switzerland. There are some other meetup groups as well. I'm also one of the organizers of cloudnativeday.ch, which is similar to KCD, but we started like before KCD was a thing. So we kept the name, but it's a similar event. I'm also involved with the tag ENV. I'm still planning to be more involved with the tag ENV, and I hope I'm able to set up a meetup as well in October for the global week. So I'm facing a couple of challenges, and I hope to get some clarifications here. Recording the meeting because we're a meetup, because normally we don't record the meetup. So I don't know if that's a problem or if there's some support, because we did it during COVID, but we stopped doing it and started to do in-person events again. And the other thing is like finding appropriate speakers, which could be a challenge as well.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, we can come to these points a little bit later. There are a couple of slides also talking about that. So awesome. Next, Al Hossein.
Yes, that's correct. Hello, everyone. This is Al Hossein. I'm based in southern Sweden, so it goes also to Copenhagen if there is anyone who's planning to organize an event there. My involvement in the CNCF community has been mainly related to GitOps, and more specifically, environmental sustainability subgroup of Open GitOps. And yeah, I'm here, happy to join, and hopefully we can find more people in Sweden or in the Nordics in general, so we can collaborate and organize an event.
Awesome. Yeah, I think in Sweden we don't have any meetup planned. I know in Denmark, in Aarhus, Kasper Nissen is he's organizing the Cloud Native Nordics group, and he's planning to organize one, I think, in Aarhus. But I know there's also a community group in Copenhagen, and I also know them quite well.
I actually have reached out to them to inform them about this event, and if they were planning to organize one, I'd probably get involved in that.
Nice.
So,
awesome. Cool.
And I think there are two in Sweden who have wrote their names before. I have seen them, but yeah, I was hoping to see any of them here, but probably it's
okay. Then
maybe they were in the morning. I don't know.
So, sounds awesome. Then we need to update the list. Great, awesome, great to have you. Then last but not least, Christina.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, I am. Yeah, my name is Christina, and I'm based in Oslo, Norway. I am contributing, and I'm a member of the Tag ENV, and will also be organizing a local meetup during the Cloud Native Sustainability Week here in Oslo. It will be a joint event between Cloud Native and Kubernetes Oslo, which is a CNCF local meetup, and the Green Software Foundation Oslo meetup group, which has recently been created. And yeah, I'll also be helping in organizing the virtual event that we're going to have. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm just mainly as a co-host here, moral support
yeah.
for Leo during the presentation.
Yeah. So it's always good to have a few more folks also with discussions to have like maybe different opinions or ideas. It's always great.
Totally.
Right. About the virtual tag event, we will not cover that on this call because it's kind of more focused on the local meetup organization, which is also, I think, like overall the focus about the entire event, that we bring all the people together organizing events about cloud native sustainability and so on. So maybe the first things, and this is kind of like an obvious slide, but still it's, I think, quite important. So there's a bunch of information, as always, with everything spread around in different communication channels. So you can find information on GitHub, Google Docs, on the website, and so on. And it kind of depends what you're looking for. So if you're interested in one particular effort, which we will talk about during this call, for example, or which come up maybe at some point, you can go to GitHub where you can find an issue. Everything should be tracked there. If something is missing, we need to open up an issue. If you're just, for example, have like a sponsor, or you're talking to a sponsor, you can just link the website. That should be enough. Or maybe after we have the community page for the tag, you can also link that. So it kind of depends what you're looking for. We also have every 2 weeks a meeting during this time, or I think an hour earlier, which is public and open, where we discuss kind of the event, all the things that we are working on. These meetings are not too interesting, I think, for local meetup organizers, because we are just report on, okay, I don't know, we reach out to CNCF or something like that, or how is the progress working on this design, or something like that. So you don't miss out if you don't attend these meetings, but feel free to join if you like. Right. So also, as I said, maybe like a month or so before the event happens, we can organize another sync like this. So just to clarify anything before the event goes down, maybe we discover any open topics and so on. Right. And the next thing, there's quite a few things that we are working on. First of all, we're working on getting Credly badges for speakers and organizers. So if you're organizing afterwards, you can fill out a form or something, so you can get the badge issued. Mercy is working on a design which is shared, and you can, the hashtag numbers are the issues. So if you're interested in one of these issues, you can just go to the Tag Environment Sustainability repository on GitHub and look up the issue number. The next one is artworks. So we wrote down a creative brief, which is like a short document, and send it to the CNCF designer team. And they're working on creating a logo, a presentation template, a banner, and so on. And perhaps maybe also like a t-shirt design if we get a budget for that, and if we agree as a community to do something like that. So artworks are also in the works. We also created 2 surveys, which also have been reviewed from LF Research, Linux Foundation Research. One is for attendees, so we can share the survey if you like on your meetup, which basically is focusing on getting a better overview about the landscape. Like maybe there are some areas which we do not cover right now in the tag environment sustainability landscape. So this survey is kind of designed to just get as much information as possible, because we have, with all these different meetups, I think we have quite a good pool of people. We have all sorts of different countries, all sorts of different backgrounds. Everybody has their own kind of different speaker and type and so on, different communities. So I think this survey, it's a great opportunity to just get an overview and about the current situation, and also enhance our understanding of what is going on. And the other survey is for us as organizers, just to kind of as a retrospective, just to share your ideas. How is the event? So if we happen to organize this maybe next year again, or at some point, and we can do the things that we do great this time again, and improve on the things that didn't go so well. Right, then there are 2 issues open for gifts. One about attendees. Right now we are thinking about sharing like a public discount code if you like to attend virtually KubeCon in North America. Maybe get some percentages off, and also some gifts for speakers and organizers. Right now we are thinking more in the direction of also maybe discount code or something But the previous, like in our previous meeting, a few folks asked about t-shirts for organizers. So maybe that's also an option. We will see. The one welcome slides, it's kind of like a basic one, but I think this is very much needed for every meetup, that you have like an introduction to your meetup, that you share a few words about the overall organization. So we work on some welcome slides, which are kind of basic, and you are welcome to just use them, maybe extend them if you like, just to talk about the event in general. Just one slide maybe about the tag, environment sustainability, about the CNCF and the entire program. Then we're working with the PR team. Nancy is working kind of in sync with the CNCF PR team. They are working on, or kind of coming up with ideas how we can promote this event. So everybody can do their own promotion, but there should be also some more help from the CNCF side, and they're thinking about options how to do that. And then last one, the tag has a YouTube channel. We are using the YouTube channel to upload meeting recordings, and we can also use it for recordings from the meetups. So as you see, a lot of things are kind of in motion. They're kind of some. There's a project board which you can find, which I can also link in a second, which basically lists all these tasks. So things are in motion. I think we're in a good shape. And thanks to Christina, Mercy, Antonio, Mehmet, Nancy, and everybody who's dropping in, kind of stepping by, helping on those tasks. It's very awesome. All right. Moving to the next section, kind of like a sample meetup. I think for most of us, we have kind of experience organizing meetings or our experience going to meetups. But there's a repository, CNCF- community groups, and there's a best practices document. And this is like a high level overview. So first you need to create the Cloud Native community group. There's a bevy page kind of where you can schedule your events. After that, you start planning the event. So you reach out to speakers, find sponsors, an event location, and so on. So we are kind of in this state right now where we are thinking about the overall event idea, and maybe if you already are starting to find speakers or sponsors. After that, we schedule the event, then we announce the event, then we run the event, and then there are a couple of post-event tasks. And I just have like one slide for each of these points. If you do not have like a community group, I don't know, I think in most places there should be one, because we have a bunch of community groups already. So maybe you can look it up, or if there's no community group in your city, you can create one. So feel free to ping me or go directly to Katie or Aurora from the CNCF team. They're responsible for the community group things. Right. So for the first one, and Johan had a couple of like questions how we can maybe support on that. So usually the planning is more or less, I think, kind of simple. So you need to find a location. I mean, all of this can be quite challenging, right? You need to find a location, you need to find sponsors, and you also need to invite speakers. So from a planning side, and right now we do not really have anything planned, just because like from the location side, we don't know all the cities. We have like our own community, so it's kind of challenging for us to look into every single meetup, every single city, and connect to local country, local communities, and so on. So you know your community best usually. And the same thing also goes a little bit for sponsors and speakers. but maybe there's like some options, for example, like a broader reach out, because we have planned the virtual tag environment sustainability meetup as well, where we invite speakers. So we could, for example, also use this if we announce that, and route kind of speakers back to local meetups. So for example, that would be one, but we can discuss on that also a little bit later if you have any ideas. So the next thing is scheduling the event. So you should have your community group set up. There's this community page, and if you're set as an organizer, you have like a different dashboard where you can schedule meetings. And the idea is that you use your regular communication channels to schedule these events, but we will also have one group, Cloud Native Sustainability Week group, to host a virtual meetup, but also to repost and kind of advertise on one page all the meetings. So it's kind of, you have one page and you can scroll down and you can see, okay, on Monday there's a meetup in Switzerland, and there's one in Oslo, and on Tuesday there's another one. But the main organization is done on another page, so it's kind of just like a repost, but it gives a good overview about all the meetings, and you can just share it online, and folks can just go to the page and see, okay, cool, there's 2 meetings, 2 meetups maybe in Sweden also.
May I ask a quick question? Is it is there like an overall schedule so that meetups or like the virtual meetings do not overlap with like the local ones, or?
No, there's no schedule. So right now, so we are planning just to have one virtual meetup from the tag side, because the tag is kind of global, so we also want that. But all the local meetups in person can be scheduled at any point.
So there are no constraints. It just has to be,
no.
or would be nice to have it in the same week.
Yes. So.
Okay.
Right. This also came up during the first meeting, and also in a couple of times in issues, in discussions, that for some cases it's kind of not like possible to schedule it in this week, but the week afterwards. And we kind of discussed that if we want to stick to this week, because otherwise the entire event falls apart. But if there's like, I don't know, if it's like not possible, you have maybe like a very good partnership with another organization, and you have it like 2 weeks after at the end, I think that's fine. We can also have the event 2 weeks afterwards or something, but we should, I think, overall stick to this week, because otherwise it's kind of the entire event is based on this idea. So if we spread it out too much, everything kind of loses a little bit focus and so on. So I know there's, I think, one meetup in China or Taiwan, I forgot, where they are collaborating with the Green Software Foundation, but it's like a week afterwards. So I think in this case it's fine if it's not possible for the other party. And there's also like a vacation day, so everybody's on vacation anyways during those times. So I think if this happens, it's fine to postpone it a week. But for the most part, we should stick to the week so we get as much momentum as possible. Right. So after the event is scheduled, you can, and I mentioned this briefly already, you can obviously use your own communication channels. If you have a mailing list or something, you can send a mail. Hey, here's a new meetup. We are participating in the Cloud Native Sustainability Week, and so on. And we are also in sync or working with the PR team from the CNCF to find like a strategy or something to promote each event and the entire event in general. So hopefully we can raise a little bit more awareness with that. I don't know any details because the PR team is working on the program, how to promote that. But as soon as we have some more details, I will make sure to send a message in Slack. And then we run the event. So we, as I said, we're working on some welcome slides. You can use these as a baseline to introduce your meetup, to welcome everybody to the meetup. You can also share it with the speakers so they can use the template, but there are no restrictions, so you don't need to do that. I think it would be nice to just have one slide about the tag, about the CNCF and so on, so everybody knows the theme and everything. And there's also a survey, which I also mentioned before, which you can share. I think it's a great opportunity for that. And we will work afterwards on writing a blog post or getting some insights out of the survey. Probably we will have, or we should have that before KubeCon, I hope. And then there are a few post-event tasks. So if you have the chance to record the session, and Johan mentioned this as well, I know for some locations it's a little bit challenging because they don't have the equipment. They don't have the microphones. And I think if there's like a recording which is done very poorly, I think it's kind of negative. It's not very beneficial. So I think if that's the case, you don't have the setup, which is fine, then you can just skip the recording. But it would be great to have a recording. I think it's like a great resource to share it afterwards. Maybe you have like some awesome talks. So if there's the option, I would it would be great, so we can upload it afterwards. But we don't need to. And there's the other survey for organizers, which I also mentioned, which should not take too long, but it's important to give afterwards just your insights about the event, so we can improve on the program. And the survey will also focus a little bit on cloud-native sustainability. So if the attendees do not have a lot of time filling out the survey, maybe the organizers have, I don't know, like 5 minutes more and just write down some text, so we can get out of the event as much as possible. And yeah, and that's it. We will work on a more detailed document. Probably you already saw the Google Docs file, which is linked in the issue, which gives a bit more information about goals and so on. So we will improve on that and make sure that everybody who is like new to organizing events has a good idea, and everybody who's experienced with organizing events has a good idea maybe how they can use some resources that we're working on. Right. Any questions? So now open discussion round.
Yeah, another question. If I'm organizing the event, how do you know so that you can pull them all together? Is there like an issue or something where I can like submit my event so that you are aware of it and put it together in the overall program? Or how do you know which event is actually taking place for within?
Right.
This?
That's a good question. So we have a website. Let me reshare a different tab. Right, so we have our tag environment sustainability website, and there's one header here, Cloud Native Sustainability Week. As soon as we have the designs, we will put a little bit more, maybe a picture or something, so it's a little bit more nicer to look at maybe. Right now there's a lot of text, a little bit of text. And there are the meetup locations. So everybody can just open a PR. This website is just on the tag environment sustainability repository. So you can go here, edit this page, open a PR, and just add yourself to this list. And that's it. That's kind of how you register. And at some point we will
Could you
add.
please go back? Sorry, could you please go back? The PR.
You mean to this page here?
Yes, yes. Just be full. Hold on. So this is PR, and there is one thing. You actually mentioned there is a different number, right? A different number or local local events. Is this the link or is this some different link?
A different number? What do you mean with a different number?
No, there is another GitHub link which is directing for the local group. There's another link.
Where's the link? I don't know. I'm a little bit lost.
If you see the last one, right, number 134. No, there is a in this page, the page which you went, the GitHub page.
Yeah.
Not this one. The tracking of it shows the tracking, right? So there's a
You mean
number
these
for
issues?
134. Yes. So 134 at the bottom of your screen, there is a 134 support for local.
Ah, this one. Right. So this issue is just to kind of like a different. So if you have any questions, for example, like Phil had one about syncing with the Green Software Foundation, if there's like anything you need to consider, you can just use this issue to ask any questions. But to register for an event, you can just open up a PR and just add yourself to this list. If there's already an event planned, you can just contact the organizer and ask if you can co-host it, co-organize it. Or, I mean, it's also possible to have 2 meetups in one city, I guess. There's no restrictions. So it's...
I got the point.
Any other questions?
Will the virtual overall meetup also be announced on this page, or because I probably would like to make some refer to it or something like that, and make like local community aware of this virtual meetup as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's right now not mentioned. It's like mentioned here, but there's right now. Right. So the idea of the virtual event is that we have a little bit more time to discuss what the tag is about, because there's not, I mean, it takes a little bit time to dig into every single topic, to go into landscape, the document, for example, or also we are starting right now a new working group that we have maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or something to talk about the working group. So because of that, we have a virtual one, but we will post on this page as well more information about the virtual event. There's one issue open. If I go back here, virtual meetup. So there's quite a bit to do. Christina worked on, I think the surveys, call for papers, right? So we're kind of in this state. We are kind of still waiting a little bit on feedback from the CNCF because they are reviewing the entire event. Maybe they have like some ideas how to improve or change some things, but we will soon announce it and then add it also to this website. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
All right. Are there more questions? Is there, so I think, Johan, you mentioned that you need help finding speakers. So do you think we can do something like overall from the tag side to reach out to speakers?
I have some speakers in mind. I mean, it's not my first event that I'm organizing, so I think I can manage that. But if there's like a pool of available speakers who would be willing to go to a local meetup, that would be quite interesting. So I was thinking maybe of contacting Max directly, or some other maybe members of the tag ENV who would be nearby or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So maybe it would be good to reach out to all the local meetup organizers to get a link where to sign up for call for papers. Or we can maybe have like one central one. That's also fine. And then afterwards we can just link the information to everybody. So maybe we can have two, maybe one for the virtual one, or we can have it like both 2 in 1. I mean, we don't need to overcomplicate it, but I guess probably this could help. Maybe a few folks are interested.
And the other possibility is I will be just reaching out to people I know who could be talking about sustainability topic. Is there like some constraint about, or is it quite open? I heard that the Green Software Foundation was mentioned, so I think could be anything that is related to sustainability, right?
Yeah, that was what I wanted to mention, Johan. I think unless you know of any restrictions, Leo, I think they were very willing to collaborate with us during this week, and we had a meetup organizers meeting with the GSF representatives recently, and also mentioned Cloud Native Sustainability Week, and that we should collaborate on that as two organizations. So they were very up for it, and they have their own speakers page. So that's all the speakers that talk about sustainability that have registered themselves in their database, you can say. Unfortunately, there was only one from Switzerland. I tried to do a search now. There is not that many, but I think that wouldn't hurt for us to use that database either, Leo. What do you think? Yeah, I'll just add a link here so you could check it out.
Oh, awesome.
Very interesting. I was not aware of this page. Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. And I also mentioned this in the first meeting. So we are looking for collaborating more with the Green Software Foundation, because obviously our area overlaps quite a bit. And there's some things which fits more in the Green Software Foundation, and there's some things, some topics, some efforts fit a little bit more in the tag. Also, the Green Software Foundation is part of the Linux Foundation, right? So we're kind of in the same overall organization, so to say. So I think, right, maybe we can just have a meeting with the Green Software Foundation in the next weeks. And then we can, definitely collaborate more and use this page. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great starting point as well, to reach out to potential speakers that are living like nearby.
But we need to keep in mind that the Green Software Foundation has like a little bit broader focus, and we want to focus quite a bit on cloud things, Kubernetes, cloud native sustainability. So it's kind of this focus. That's the theme. But they're probably most of the speakers, or a lot of these speakers, are thinking in this direction as well. So I would not be too worried about that. But yeah, great idea. All right, there's a hand up from Manikan.
Yes. So actually, with respect to cloud native portfolio, when we do a meetup, we can pick up the different project inside a cloud CNCF, and we can do the event. but when we try to discuss about the sustainability, so it is the topic. It's this particular the cloud native sustainability slightly is not very clear. So when we want to put some event across that, we need a guidance on what are the topics can be come across and who going to how to find the speakers. Because if we want to have speakers for CNCF fleets, we can go to the contributors on the GitHub of the respective projects, and we can discuss with those contributors to welcome them as a speaker for the event. But when you speak, when with respect to the cloud native sustainability, where we have, do we have any GitHub repo where we can see the contributors, or how to approach where to find the speakers and in related to this topic? And the cloud native sustainability actually it speaks about the cloud native carbon footprint. Is my understanding right?
Right. So there were a bunch of things. So, right. So like, first of all, like cloud native sustainability, like everything in this space, sustainability and computer science and whatnot, everything like this is very new. There is no like a different definition where everybody agrees on. So a lot of moving parts so there are a couple of things, I think, as a starting point, which are kind of nice. So first of all, the landscape document. You don't need to read everything, but you can just look at the table of contents, for example, and see everything which we mention. And so you see, for example, there's some things about, a lot of things actually about energy consumption. There's also carbon reduction, for example. There's not so much about, for example, material use, like the like which kind of materials are needed to, or the kind of like the baseline of your computer. I don't know how much, like I don't even actually know, like all the materials that are needed to build, for example, a PC. But this will also be like part of cloud native sustainability at some point. But you can look at this. So, for example, telco, finance, and so on are mentioned here. Maybe there's like some overlap with existing companies that you know, where they look into the space. Also, for example, maybe data centers. But we need to keep in mind that we don't go too near to the hardware side. We are kind of like on a meta level, thinking about the cloud and not about like the design of a data center, for example. But I think this is like a great starting point. And then there's also like one blog that we wrote about KubeCon. And there are a couple of talks, actually a lot of talks at KubeCon, where kind of look around cloud native sustainability or have a cloud native sustainability aspect. So, for example, this page can also be, I think, kind of interesting just to get some ideas, maybe where to reach out to. Right. And then there's also the thing about reaching out to maintainers directly. So that's a great idea, because one of our goals with this event is that we also want to connect maintainers and also raise awareness of maintainers, that they are aware, okay, maybe we don't have the capacity right now, but maybe in half a year or so, we can schedule the capacity to report on the sustainability footprint of our project. So they're already aware of this, that this is like an upcoming topic. So that's a great idea too. And maybe some maintainers are already looking into this, but haven't reached out to the tag yet. So yeah.
I'm actually also working on compiling a list of docs from KubeCon and co-located events. And how I'm approaching this is basically I just go through the schedule of each event and just search for the keywords like energy, sustainability, green, and compile a list of these talks. And maybe we can reach out to the speakers of these talks to maybe speak again in such events.
That's a great idea too. Yeah, that's actually a very good idea, and we can target already the audience better. Yeah. Would you like to open up an issue for that, actually, so we don't lose track? Because I think otherwise...
Yeah, we can do that.
Awesome.
For now, I just have it in a document, but I think we can share it also with the broader community. Maybe others can also have some other talks from other conferences they can add as well.
Awesome. All right. Any more questions? Manikan, you still have your hand up. Not sure. Do we have another question?
No, it's that. Thank you.
All right. So we will kind of continue working on these tasks. After this meeting, there's like a couple of things from the first one and also now from this meeting, like some great ideas how to change the program or improve on that. Probably best would be to have another meeting of this, kind of like one again in the morning and one in the evening, just like a month before the event, so everybody's on the same page. All right, then that's it with this meeting. Do you have any last question?
The week, right? So with respect to the week, as of now, it's mentioned like the second week of October 2023 is going to be the sustainable week, right? So that is a week we are planning for the event.
Right. So the events, the idea is that we have the events happening in the second week of October, and we will also advertise it as this. So it's like a more like a coherent theme, kind of. But as we also discussed earlier, there's like a few options or a few cases where an event 2 weeks afterwards would be like very great. So we will not. That's fine to schedule it also a week afterwards. But I think if we kind of lose track from this idea, the entire event kind of falls apart. Because if we have it in a week or in a like close time frame, together we are kind of stronger, raising more awareness. Just the number of having like 20 plus meetups around the world in a single week is I think very awesome. And if we kind of lose track of this idea, I think the entire event kind of loses a little bit of the energy it has. So I would try best to schedule it for the second week of October. I think objectively it's a very good fit for the most part. And we also have enough time to also retrospective look at the event and report on it for KubeCon, for example. So any more questions? Otherwise, you can use Slack or the GitHub issue to add any more ideas. And then we will talk soon, I guess. We will see. And hope to see you all around. And have a great rest of Thursday.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.